Hello and welcome to the WIHS Journal, Public Affairs from 104.9 FM. I'm Paul Kretschmer. Today and tomorrow we're going to hear about the power of eating the colors of the rainbow with Sean McCarthy.
Hi, my name is Sean McCarthy, and I'm calling and speaking on behalf of the TEDS Foundation this evening.
Okay, and what, as much as anything, would you like listeners to take away from that they could act upon in their own life?
Well, I think it's the aspect of that, nature and God have provided a diverse way of healing us through a broad range of color spectrums in nature and the food that we can eat, and that if you try and eat a broad spectrum of foods in the colors of the rainbow, they're not always exact, but you can get in the zip code, that it can really enhance your life and do some things powerfully to take a part of the body, especially the minute parts in the microbiome or in the gut health, and really supercharge your life and turn your life around by focusing on those colors of the rainbow.
When you talk about food like that, are you talking about what some people would refer to as a raw diet, where you eat everything raw and not cooked or prepared in what a conventional fashion?
No, not at all. I would think there's a time and place for that. I'm a big advocate for seasonal eating. So, if it's hot and steamy, are you going to want to eat a lot of cooked food or soups and stews and things of that nature? Probably not.
No.
But the heat of summer, you're probably going to enjoy some fresh things out of the garden, and the tricolored peppers and things of that nature, and different squashes and zucchini and eggplant, and all these different colors, and carrots and corn and everything that's out there in the summer is going to be great.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
But in the winter, you might want to take those same things and create a stew or a soup that warms you up and heats you up, and sometimes those things can also be healing when mixed with the right herbs and spices and things of that nature.
How long have you been involved in this type of program of eating like that?
It probably started for me when I was in college. I played football at the University of Cincinnati in college in the late 80s and early 90s, and injured my back. And there really wasn't a lot of information about nutrition. It was pretty basic. And I was looking for ways, because they essentially told me I would never play again, to impact my life. And one of the things that I found at a very elementary stage then was that nutrition could be something that could alter the outcomes and the way my body felt and the way my body performed. So I just turned 50 in August, so I'd say I really started around 19 years old, my journey of understanding how nutrition can impact your life.
So you've got, as we could say, a lot of experience firsthand that lends itself to a great deal of credibility when you share this with other people.
Well, yeah. I was fortunate enough to take that, and I ended up marrying my wife, Brenda, who was top 10 in the world in tennis, and she injured her back, and I call ourselves the former bad back couple because we have no back pain or limits, even though it ended her tennis career. And that's when I kind of took what I did for myself and I amplified it, and I understood, kind of my journey in life, and I feel that God put me on earth was to understand stress. And one of the greatest ways to combat stress is through nutrition.
As far as nutrition is concerned, how much do you think your diet that you follow varies from the average diet, given that many people eat a lot of processed foods and things that have a lot of things added and in some instances a lot of stuff taken out?
Well, in my situation, I kind of have an all-organic household, or if it's not a certified organic product, I know the farms that it comes from. Like yesterday, because we spend the winters in Florida and not at our farm in Virginia, my wife went to the farmer's market, and she knows the farm that has the eggs that we want. We make eating a priority in our life because a lot of people spend a lot of time in the doctor's office. Yeah. My one son is 10 and my other son is 8. I think my 10-year-old's only been to the doctor's office for an emergency room because he's a real boy and is very active and playing. And my 8-year-old's only been to a doctor once, and that was with a requirement after he was born. So we believe that if you pay now, you're not going to have to pay as much later. So for us, we believe, and the athletes, and I work with a lot of executives, and I work with a lot of families that have obstacles they can't overcome. And it's amazing to see how nutrition can take a family that's been brought to their knees by a disease or a mental challenge or some issue in their life, and they take a full commitment to turning their nutrition around and the way they eat and the variety of things they eat. It's amazing to see the miracles that happen by being proactive in your nutrition.
Do you think a lot of people might recover from injuries or as the result of stress if there was that kind of early intervention based upon what you have to say about it?
I definitely do, because so many foods are designed. I mean, God was brilliant when he designed this broad base of foods that we have available to us. That, each food, if you can think of just think of what a mango does for the nervous system. It heals the nervous system. It essentially goes in, and those sugars from a mango and those brilliant colors go in and hydrate the nervous system. And some people are going to be like, oh, how is that possible? Well, because God was smart. And, he knew that these foods would do certain things. If you think about a pomegranate and how it clears the plaque out of the arteries, or a grapefruit does the same thing, or a kiwi, how it helps with asthma. And there's all these brilliant foods that are out there, or a beet and how it increases the amount of nitrous oxide in your system and can increase athletic output by 30%. But it also detoxifies the lymphatic system, where a major majority of the toxicity is. So from an injury, illness, prevention, healing, yes, absolutely, nutrition and is closest to the way it was put on the earth if you eat that way. It's not always possible, but I'm a big advocate of the 80-20 rule. If you 80% of the time you do that, life is going to be a lot different for you, including overcoming disease, preventing diseases. And it's even proven now from epigenetic studies that if you eat the right things, you can alter the genetic code and do, precede genetics. So essentially, if you eat the right way, you can alter your genetics and overcome things that are supposedly genetic.
At this point, I'd like to ask you if you could provide a contact point for information for people who are intrigued by what you have to say and would like to follow up after our conversation is finished.
Sure. I think the easiest way is www.tedsfoundation.com. So that's www.tedsfoundation.com.
Are these things that take a lot of time and effort that might dissuade some people from putting the effort into it because they're looking for more convenience? Or is it possible to live that way and actually find yourself not actually spending a whole lot more time than you would if you were following things the same old?
Well, I think if you go into a grocery store, it's just being aware of what's there. And so if you pick a meat, it's picking one meat versus another meat. Just being more educated and asking questions and understanding and doing a little basic research. You're still going to spend the same amount of time shopping. You're just making better choices about what you're shopping for, or how you're cleaning it or rinsing it with certain things if you don't always have organic available. So I find that once you start to feel better, that you're going to want to spend a little bit more time on your food preparation and accessing food. But there's also a lot of amazing meal delivery services out there that are, when you look at the time to shop, cut, clean, make food, clean it up, there's a lot of amazing meal delivery services these days in every location, and even some that'll ship anywhere, that sometimes if you're not the cooking and cleaning and preparation type, you can find something that will meet your desired needs of a varied dietary mix.
Sean McCarthy will be my guest again tomorrow on the WIHS Journal. For further information in the meantime, call us at 860-346-1049. The opinions expressed are those of the participants, not necessarily those of the staff or management of this station. I'm Paul Kretschmer on the WIHS Journal, Public Affairs from WIHS, Middletown.